All right, all right. Good evening, everyone. One quick check with AV. Are we good here? You guys able to hear me, see me? Hello, hello. Hmm. Good evening. Yeah. Okay. Great. Great. Still says waiting. Yeah. Okay. Good evening, all. Good evening. Good evening. So we'll just keep it light. We'll just keep it very simple. Not going to talk about any conceptual ideas here. Just gonna answer a bunch of questions. The questions that sit in your head, the questions that you have doubts over, the things that you want to ponder over and sort it out is what we'll be talking about. So typically it's going to be ask me anything. So and let's keep the questions not so complicated and we'll keep it easy. So shoot away your questions. So the first one is how to start my quant prep for CAT 2026. How do you start it? Where do you get along? So every time we talk about your prep, we are drastically talking about your three sections: VARC, DILR, and QA. Of course, the emphasis on QA here because I'm doing the session. I'm going to talk a lot about QA, but also talk about how to incorporate the other two as we move along. So we are in April now, the mid of April. From here, we are talking about June, July, August, September, October, November. Typically looking at somewhere around 7.5 months now. 7.5 months. Now, the first question is this enough? And I'm going to say absolutely yes. Utterly yes. 7.5 months to prepare for CAT, it's definitely possible. Now, all you have to do is step on the pedal now, gas, press it, accelerate at full throttle, definitely looking at it. But then usually you start with your first gear, you have to be a little slow. You have to start with some ideas here. When I talk about quant, I am going to start with arithmetics here. So finish off arithmetics, then transition to algebra, and then number theory, geometry, modern math. That's how the step on step basis you go. You think about attacking 7 to 8 questions in the section now. That's where you begin. 6, 7 questions to begin with is a great spot. We are not thinking about 22 questions in 40 minutes. I do it that way. I'm looking at somewhere around 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes a question, which is not sufficient. But if you are targeting 6 questions, 7 questions now, that's a solid 5 to 6 minutes a question, 6, 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes a question. And that's more than sufficient. Even if you are starting with a great disadvantage, a discomfort with mathematics, 5 to 7 minutes to solve a question with a limited amount of practice is definitely doable. We are looking at that. We are focusing on that. The moment you get that, we fly. So target that. That's your sweet spot. 6 to 7 questions is what you are thinking about first. Then we will gradually amp it up. Increasing this will happen organically. By adding new layers, new topics, we can do it. The other thing that you should probably be thinking about is mocks. Now, every time we talk about preparation, we are looking at funda building, pace consolidation, and then finally mocks and revisions. Now the first, if this is 7.5 months, I'm saying typically the first 2.5 months, funda building will be at its peak. You learn more, you practice half of it, half the time you put it on practice, and then a small period of time you use it for mocks. April, you probably do in this next 2 weeks, you can probably get your hands on one mock. May maybe one mock. Starting from June, you start giving 3-4 mocks. The moment you start telling yourself, I'll take my mocks later, you push it for later, we are in trouble. We are in deep waters, we are in trouble. So don't do that. Don't save mocks for later. You will never have the time to do that later. So focus on these three. This is typically more important than anything. We have been talking about this over and again. If you are looking for a full pledged video on how to prepare for CAT from April for 7.5 months, 8 months, we have already made a video on how to prepare from April. Go check out that video. We'll put it in the description over here. You can have a look at it, and then you will understand how to split your topics on a monthly basis so that you can track it. It will be there in the description, in the chat box. You can check it out, or in the video section you can see there. I've created one video, a full-fledged planner to prepare from April. Have a look at that. I'm going to look at another question here. How to solve VARC? Yashika, this is like asking RCB to win another cup. Maybe once in a while it does. But I am not the right guy to give you some guidance on VARC. Probably you will have to check with Vikrant sir. But through my entire journey of CAT to coaching, helping students to prepare for CAT, the one thing that unanimously people have agreed upon or said, hey, this works, is reading. A wise man once told, read away to glory. Super important. The reading part gives you endurance. It helps you with your language. It helps you with your fatigue. It helps you with understanding a lot of things. Reading is not just reading. Reading helps you elevate a lot of characteristics that you have. So start with that. The more nuances, the more strategic points, talk to Vikrant sir. I'll be able to give you with quant and DILR. DILR, I've done it. PRC, the one thing that people have told me over and again is read, learn concepts, read, learn concepts. In fact, if I have to give you a chart, a diagram of how your prep goes, if I say day 1, if I draw a graph like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this, and then what you learn, day 1 you do quant, day 2 you do DILR, day 3 you do verbal, day 4 you do DILR, day 5 you do quant, something like this. But a major block throughout the block consistently will be reading. You can choose days to do what section we are doing, but irrespective of whatever you learn, every day you spend at least 45 minutes of reading every day. I'm pretty sure the VARC experts will be able to tell you what to read, where to read, how to read, a lot of things. But the one thing, I've seen this with my students, I've seen this with my peers, I've seen this with my wife. My wife is an avid reader. She reads a lot and she tells me how important it is to reading. I don't take to reading. I don't have the patience to sit and do it. I should probably start doing it. But then the one thing that people have talked to me about in extensive glory is reading. So do that. That should help you with your VARC. Sangram is asking, my class 10 is 94.83, 12 is 405 out of 600, currently in third year graduation, BSc. Till now CGPA is 7.5 range. No internship, no experience, male, OBC, NCL candidate. Okay, that's data, Sangram. You have to ask me the question. Muniswamy is asking, I'm stuck in VRC. How to improve? We just spoke about it. Muniswamy, have a look at it. Sangram has a question, says, what percentile you need to for black ecole? Now, irrespective of whatever I see over there, of course, OBC and all those things, your 7.5, there are a few positives. Your categories will probably help you out, but then your academics is a tad bit let down, and then no internships, no work experience. when I look at all of this, I am probably going to take a safe spot and say get to 99th percentile. Get to the 99th percentile. Now, why am I telling you that? Just a safe spot. Am I assuring you the 99th percentile? That depends on what happened to the paper for 2026, how that turns out. But then, if you are looking at the 99th, 98 to 99 percentile, I'm not assuring you all the calls, but some of the calls you'll be able to get it. But then there is also a layer after that. Your interviews are there. You have to go there, justify it. A lot of things are playing a part here. But 99 percentile, have that in the head. Sometimes I tell people about aspirations. When I talk about aspirations, I tell them, now something that is under your control is your percentile. Will you convert a black eye and all those things happens after CAT, after you get your results. There's a lot of time for it. That's 8-9 months left for it. For your prep, that's 7 months. Focus on the test now. Let's not worry about it. A lot of times what happens is people get messed up in their head. They look at the reward than the process. I hate it. I hate it. They want to have a look at the reward. For example, I give this example every now and then about me. I want to lose weight. I think about how I should look. I've never thought about what I should do. For a long time, I've never put in that effort. Okay, I should do this, I should do that, I should probably do it this way, that way. I've never thought about that. But then I look at the reward. Okay, how chiseled my physique should look like. That's a thought I put. Never look for the reward. Look for the progress. Enjoy the process. The more you enjoy, your rewards will be bigger and better. I understand it's a great thing to get a call with any of the top 6, the black eye here. I understand that. I get it. Let's not glorify that part and leave out on what is left on the table now. So focus on getting the scores. Get everything that you can get your hands on. Everything when it comes to the paper. 98, 99 percentile, target that. If you can go better, go better. If you fall with the 97th percentile, per se, I don't want to jinx it. But then even if you do that, I'm telling you it's fine. Don't worry. What's the problem? We'll see what's next. We'll think about it and then we'll see whether should we do one more attempt or probably take a call that you are getting. So hold on. Don't rush when it comes to your results. The results are far away from here. Don't do that. Right? By any chance, can you tell me when will the weekend batch start? Rahul is asking when will the weekend batch start? I am still not sure about it, Rahul. I'll check with the team. I'll see what plans they have. I might have to get some idea on it. Once we do that, but I think pretty soon we'll have one. We'll have a weekend batch where students will start doing it. I understand some WorkX people prefer it on weekends. The weekend students are also there. So we will come up with a plan. We'll let you know. And we'll let you know as soon as possible. So don't worry about that. Yash Pant is asking, I have a question. I was preparing for UPSC and I have studied arithmetic from SSC teachers. Is it possible and right to apply those approaches for CAT arithmetic? You can, but there is a variance. There's a slight difference. What you get in UPSC and what you get in CAT, the syllabus is same. The complexity differs. Approaches can you use, hands down you can use. There is no right way. In fact, I can tell you this for sure. Sit in Rahul sir's class, sit in my class, sit in Vineet sir's class. You will see a different approach in each of us. Does it mean any of them is right, the other one is wrong? No. We are giving you a variance of how it can be done. You can look at all three of them, choose one. So you can use those approaches. Sit in the class, learn an idea. You do the comparison whether what you learned earlier or what you learned now is different, and you get to choose whichever you are comfortable with. But can you use those approaches? Yes, you can. Some of them might be unconventional there. Some of them are more formula based, logic based. Here it is more of understanding, the funda based here. So you might have to do some small tweaks to that to get here. But in a nutshell, can you use those approaches here? The answer is definitely a yes. Without a doubt, yes. Ankush is saying, I'm unable to solve DPPs of quant, but my basics are good. What should I do? Ankush, sometimes our basics, okay, I'll give you a graph of this. What you learned, and then practice. Sometimes what happens is, we learn here the easy ones. We are looking at spots here. This is easy to difficult, practice easy to difficult. You learn the easy ideas and then you are attacking the tougher ones. You either haven't learned that idea to solve it, or you are not certain of it. The basics you are right. If you say that, okay, out of 30 questions I was able to solve only 10 of them, 10 out of 30 to begin with is a good number. I'm telling this. To begin with, if you can get your hands on 1/3 of the paper, that's good. I'm not saying excellent, I'm not saying great. It's a moderate place to be in. You're doing 1/3 of the paper is always good. Look at CAT, 1/3 of the paper. That's your target. Every time you solve a set of questions, if you can get your hands on 1/3 of the paper without any discomfort, it's a good place to be in to begin with. Do not underappreciate yourself here. Don't do that. You can never do that. Later on, you will grab all those ideas and then go. If the problem is happening in the DPPs, I would recommend have a look at the solution or the text solution for a couple of steps and see whether you can build it from there. See if there is something that you are missing out on so that you can cover it up. It's a matter of filling gaps. Imagine this. There's a land which has a lot of potholes. Now you don't know which pothole is. You experiment, you see a hole, and then you fill it up. It's all about filling gaps here. So don't worry about, I'm not able to get this done in April. It's not something to worry about. So don't worry about that. Good evening, Shyam. Good evening. Kushal is asking, my academics are 976. Can I prepare for CAT and which college can I target? I'm going to answer only one part of the question. The other part of the question I'm saving it for later. Can you prepare for CAT? Anyone can prepare for CAT. It doesn't matter what your grades are. It doesn't matter what your ACADs are. Which college should you target is a latter part to worry about. Now, a lot of people will say, I have a 777. Can I get into IIME? I've seen a lot of people come to me and ask, with a 777 profile, academic profile, can I get into IIME? I tell them it is possible. It's possible. Get a 99.99, crack the interview, go to the interview hall, crack it up, you get it. You will definitely get it. But the problem is, I come from a generic perspective. I am not saying this is a fact. But imagine someone who has not been so good with academics through the time, for a long time, with their exam writing abilities and all those things, someone who is getting 777 in academics, the chances of that person getting a 99.99 is not so easy, right? Imagine this. I tell you, I have failed in 10 exams. 11th exam, what are the odds of me passing? If I tell you, there are two people. One person who has consistently gotten pass marks. The other person who has failed in 9 out of 10 exams. You have to choose one person and your life depends on their outperformance. Would you choose the consistently passing student or the consistently failing student? Passing student, right? You will not bet on someone who has failed for a long time, right? I'm not telling you 777 is a bad student in academics. I'm telling 77 student in academics. Again, this is also a test. It's not a test of you talking to a person, your intelligence. You have to put it on a paper. So going to 99.99 is going to be challenging. It's not that easy, right? So I'm telling you, do not worry about which college am I going to get in. Write it. Target the best score and see where that score will take you. And from there you can take a decision, right? One scholarship category SC. Yashpant is asking, one scholarship and category SC. What is the safest score other than 99th percentile? Yashpant, maybe a 95, 94 should also work for you. For someone who comes from an SC category now, somewhere around 94 should also work. Again, that depends on which colleges you are targeting. I am looking at the best case scenario and giving you 94, 95. With 80 percentiles, you can grab some great colleges. There are colleges with 80-85 percentile, you can grab it. Alright, IIM Trichy offers you a program. IIM Trichy is a good college. If not the best, it's there in tier 2. IIM Trichy offers you a college with 87 percentile. Right. It works. So which college are you attacking? I am looking at the best possible outcome. I am giving you 94, 95. You can go to 90 and still look at one hell of colleges as options for yourself. One other question. Sangram is asking, I have covered arithmetic fully, started algebra due to semester exam assignments, practical, I was not able to practice fully. It feels like I have forgotten all, unable to recall instantly. Sangram, this is, I came across a very beautiful idea. Spaced revision and spaced repetition. Now imagine this. If you learn something today, okay, if you are learning something today, you are at the peak of your game now. Few days later, it will dip. And then you'll have to revise and then go here. Few days later, it will dip again. But the idea here is the dipping point for you to, let's say, you retain only 70% of what you learn. Just put it this way. So you lose away 30% of what you learn. Now, if you are doing a revision for the first time, the 30% is lost in 2 to 3 days itself. I learned something. 4 days later, I would have lost 30% of what I learned. I will revise that again. For me to again forget 30% of what I have learned, it will not take 3 days now, it will take a week. Right. So the third time you revise, you will retain that for a longer period. It's like your muscle. Your muscles, it breaks when you hit the gym. You want to bulk up. Your muscles break and then they heal. It breaks, it heals. The first time healing takes more days. Gradually the healing gets quicker and quicker and quicker. Oh, it's the exact opposite here. The first time you forget it in a very short span, but gradually it takes more time for you to forget. You retain more information the third or the fourth time you revise something. So I understand you learned something, you went, did something else and you come back. There is a natural feeling that you will feel like, okay, I've forgotten this. I don't even recall reading this, preparing for this. It happens, man. It does happen. It happens to you. It happens to me. It happens to everyone. Don't worry. Do a quick recall. Do a revision. And do that, you will get better. I am able to solve almost 24, 25 out of 30 questions in DPPs. With DLR, it is also the same. Is it the right place to be at this stage of preparation? Absolutely. I'll say you are at a great place now. You have begun at a great place. Continue to do it. Tanishka is asking, I'm a pharmacy student in third year and doing preparation, but problem is managing studies along with college hours as my college is 9 to 5 regularly. Tanishka, this is a problem that a lot of students come across. Balancing out your college prep and then your CAT prep. Parallelly is tricky. If you have a 9 to 5 college, the recommendation would be do 30-45 minutes or an hour of preparation every day. Whatever has bulked up, push it to the weekend. That's why I don't believe in the concept of daily targets. My personal opinion, I don't believe in daily targets. If you are someone who is not consistent enough, if you feel like, okay, my consistency is pathetic, daily targets don't work, right? You cannot put yourself and say, I will prepare 2 hours every day. Can't do that. So what you can say is, you can have a monthly target or a weekly target. So instead of doing 2 hours every day for a week, which is 14 hours, you can say, okay, I will do 1 hour every day on weekdays, which is 5 hours, and the remaining 8 to 9 hours, I will push it to weekend. Spend at least 3 to 4 hours on each day and cover up, back it up with everything. That's why in case if you have looked into the Google sheet that I have shared with you, the Saturday, Sundays will always be empty. It will be for backlogs and revision. You will never learn something new on Saturdays and Sundays. Those will be empty slots for you to fill up your gaps again. That's how I structure it. I'll always have reserve days. This is like a cricket match, a semi-final match. It rains today, I'll have a reserve day. Now don't come and ask me, sir, what if I'm not able to do that as well? I won't have an answer for that. But I'm telling you, have a reserve day to cover up all your backlogs. In case if you don't have any backlogs, use that for revision. So it's a mixed bag now. You will have to find a way. I'm giving you an overview of what you can do. This might not be the ideal solution for you in the first place. But in case if you say, I want a specific plan to do, I might not be the right person to tell you at all. In fact, no one will be able to tell you. You'll have to figure out the gaps that you have and fill it up. I think Amit sir has made a video on how to balance your CAT prep and your college prep. There's a video sitting here again in the channel. Do have a look at it. He'll be able to give you more insights on that. When will the offline real test will happen? We'll get back to you on that, folks. We'll give you an idea on that once we get it. Atharva, I just spoke about managed lecture plus DPP plus college exams. We just spoke about that. Can you tell me, okay, where is the Google Sheet? I'll share you the link. Give me a minute. At the end of the session, I'll share you the link. It will be there in the chat box, or I'll ask them to put it in the description. Check out that video that says 8-month preparation plan, which was posted a week or two back. You will see a video over there. Below that, there is a link. Click on that link, fill it up. You will get a Google Sheet for your planner from April till your exam. And that's for you to fill it up. You have a look at it, you'll understand how it's done. Tanishka is saying, I've almost completed arithmetic, still not given sectional test. So please tell me how to plan to start this. Tanishka, in my head, I use sectionals as an add-on. I don't use sectional to test myself. I use sectionals to improvise. What do I mean by that? Now, imagine this. When you write an actual mock, you spend BARC 40 minutes, BALR 40 minutes, and then come to QA, which is 40 minutes. Now, when you take a sectional, you come to QA straight away, right? Now, imagine this. Will you have the same mentality of attempting a 40-minute test, fresh quant, or doing 2 sections and then coming to quant? You understand this, right? When I take an actual mock, I'm looking at 80 minutes lost, 80 minutes done, then come to quant. I'm already drained out. Looking at 40 minutes, the last 40 minutes is painful. Here, it is straight away 40 minutes. There's a difference here. It's not the same. So what I do is, I use quant sectionals as a backup to see how well I've understood a concept. It is to build muscle. It is not to build score. It is to build muscle. So take sectionals when you feel like, okay, I've done enough number of questions, enough number of topics. Let me see how well I've understood them. But I'm telling you, if you solve 14 questions here per se, it is not necessary you will solve 14 questions here. No, you are fresh here. You are not fresh here. So your sectional scores is not a sign of how well you are performing. The sectional scores is a way of evaluating how well you have understood a concept. So you can take other tests, keep sectionals when you feel like that you want to do. If you have done arithmetic and algebra, go do a sectional to see how well you fare in it. Otherwise, don't take sectionals now. Save it for the mid of your prep, somewhere in the middle. Once you have done a few more topics, go see when you get a mixed bag how well you perform. You can take a sectional maybe in April, one in May, maybe if you want. But sectionals is not a repetitive way to analyze yourself. We'll take one more question. We might probably have to wind up, you have another orientation happening. Arjun is asking, is it better to do by master in Germany or is it better to study in India? However, will come back and find a job in India if I go to Germany. I'm into consulting. Arjun, this is a preference based question. I cannot really tell you which is better. Uh, in fact, I want to step away from this and tell you I am not giving you an answer because this is purely an opinion based question. Some people will say, I will go to Germany, I will go to Canada, I'll go to US. I'm writing a GMAT, I'm doing an MBA outside India. Some people will say, I'll do an MBA inside India. It is purely a preference based because the return of the ROI, the fee structure, the job opportunities, the placements, the scholarships, a lot of things differ here. It's not just the test, it is everything. Your entire lifestyle changes. Now you are saying that you will go to Germany, finish MBA and you will come back. Again, do you want to do it is your question. I've seen some people who come back to India have settled for less. Some people have settled for more. But again, it's a point of your preference where you want to sit. I really don't want to tell you doing an MBA in India is better, doing an MBA outside India is better. There is nothing called better. It is all about your preferences. It is very subjective to answer on that. Garima is asking, if someone's 10th score are less due to health issues, what can someone do? You can't do nothing due to health issues. What can you do? I'm asking you the same question. Is there anything that you can do? No. But there's one thing that I will recommend you is get a kick-ass percentile in CAT. That should help you out. Get that. It should take you through. What else can I say? What else can you build on? Can you change your 10 score? No. That's nothing you can do about it. In the future, get a kick-ass percentile that people will not worry about your 10 score. That is the one thing that you can do. Nothing else. Sumit is asking how to develop communication skills, spoken English. Well, I'll keep this as my last question now. Sumit, I am not a native speaker of English. I've seen a lot of people praise the way I speak. They have given me a lot of compliments. They tell me that I speak good English. Deep in my head, I don't feel I do it. Do I do justice to the language I speak? I don't think so. Why? Because this is not my native language. This is not my mother tongue. I have to understand this. We all face this issue. Personally, will feel, hey, I speak good English. I can speak English in front of a crowd. But when you stand over there, you will feel like that you did not do well. But there will be people who feel like, hey, he speaks good. To improve your skills, the one thing that you can do is talk. Some people tell, read newspaper, watch English movies, series, do this, do that. The one thing that will definitely improve your language is speaking. Nothing helps you better than speaking. You read papers, you read books, they improvise your vocabulary. They do better to your knowledge. It doesn't help you with your communication. To help you with your communication, start bad. Speak, as they call it, butler English. Even if you are pathetic when it comes to the language, speak broken English. Keep doing it over and again. Don't worry about people judging you. At some point, you will start doing better. I don't know if you will believe this. There was a period of time where I felt like, where a lot of people have said that my English was not good enough. And I have felt that too. Am I telling you it is good enough today? I'm telling myself it is good enough to address a bunch of people. That's all. So it improvises gradually. The more and more you speak, the better and better you get at it. Right? So that's it, folks. We'll have one more. We'll have one more round of discussion. We'll probably try to have more and more AMAs. But today we'll have to wrap it up pretty soon. We have an orientation also happening. So tune into another session. We'll talk about it. If you happen to be in a batch in our classes, jump into our classes, shoot some of those questions over there. I'll be happy to address them and shed some more light on that. Right? All right then. Thank you, folks. Have a great day.